Hello and welcome back to Marvel Puzzle Quest with me, P.I. McLeod. I'm staring down day 3,721. I feel like it's the sort of thing that if I was ticking them off on the side of my prison wall, it would be really depressing and frightening looking to see all those hash marks. But yeah, I mean, I got a 10-pack of heroics tomorrow, so yay! Anyways, moving on. What are we here for today? Two things. First off, we're going to start off today's session with the good old Crash the Titans. After that, and a little bit of a pause for video cutting purposes, you get it. We're going to go into the 12 Days of Marvel. Now, there's only 11 of the days available, so I'm not going to be able to do all of them in one fell swoop. But I don't plan on uploading that to YouTube either. I'm doing a little bit of my own experiment on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip them or cut them once I get this done today into individual days of Marvel for YouTube Shorts. Make like a section of shorts for these days. They shouldn't be that hard. The fights, if I remember correctly, aren't that hard from the previous years. I prefer not to go back and look at my previous videos to see that for myself. I like to keep the I don't want to say mystery, but keep myself delusional for a little bit while we go into it. It makes the reaction, more genuine. Anyways, let's go for it. Should we talk about this first? Multiple Man, real quick. I think we should. Here, let's go back a screen. Multiple Man, Jamie Madrox. Madrox, whatever. Multiple Man looks fun. I mean, like, super fun. I wish it wasn't just a 4-star. But, I mean, then again, nowadays, I guess because of Ascension, any 4-star could be a 5-star, right? Just takes a lot of work. Anyways. We got these 3 powers here. And I think it seems to be a really fun package. First off, Hit Me Again. Hit Me Again is pretty much the reason he's awesome. I mean, the other powers are great, too. Don't get me wrong. But I'm going to switch up to level 5. Look at his last line, his last part of this 3-part passive power. If 34 or more friendly dupes ever exist, Multiple Man's team wins the match. Dupes can only be matched away if part of a match 4 or higher. Okay, so this is an instant win option on the game right here. Okay, 34 or more friendly dupes. Just in case you don't know about the math of this, 64 is how many tiles are on the board in total. It's an 8x8 grid. So this means more than half your tiles, 34 to be exact, have to be dupes in order for you to get that instant win. Lower levels mean a higher amount of dupes needed, and of course the other parts of the passive are worse as well. If you look at the middle line, Multiple Man deals 2% increased match damage and takes 2% reduced damage for each friendly dupe on the board. So it's a little tanky, which is good, but it's not like the best tank. You're not going to use him in place of Juggernaut or anything like that, He's good, but not that good. Come on. But see how it triggers in that first line? Each time he takes damage, you create a dupe on a tile, prioritizing an enemy strike, attack, or projectile. He overwrites enemy strikes, attacks, and protects just by taking hits. That's really, 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 really cool. I mean, I can't overemphasize that. So, besides that, and it also followed by the enemy strongest color. So the enemy strongest color is where other dupes go after that. Now the one problem I see with that is enemy strongest colors tends to be something that computers like to hunt for. If they have a choice and there's not a match 4 staring them in the face, they do like to get that enemy strongest color as a match. That's going to hurt your whole 34 or more friendly dupes ever existing thing. But I digress. There's other ways to get around this. We'll get into that. My own best friend is 0. Literally 0. You can cast this for free. You want to dissect that with me a little bit? Drain up to 6 AP in your selected color. I'm going to pump it up to 5 so you can see what it really does. Up to 10 AP in your selected color. Then for each 2 drained, you create 2 dupes. If you're selecting red, it's attacks, blue, it's protects, greens, it's strikes, yellows, it's traps. And it said, look at that, when they leave the board, Your burst healed for 717. Leave the board means a lot of things. Be, I don't know, overwritten, matched, destroyed. That's pretty cool. Purple, a trap tile that when the tile leaves the board, you deal damage to a random enemy. That's really cool. That's for you matching it, destroying it, the enemy matching it, destroying it. Wow, that's really good. I can't overemphasize how cool it is to have a trap that actually doesn't care how it gets removed. And then finally the black, a 3-turn worst enemy repeater tile that deals 545 damage to multiple mana and to 2 random enemies. It's kind of cool. You get like more damage out of it, but he's hurting himself too. Of course, you could mitigate that with some of those yellow traps, but I digress. I want to point out that when you drain 10 AP and select a color, and then for each 2 AP drained, you create 2 dupes. That means if you're draining 10 AP of a color, you're making 10 dupes. 10 dupes. That means you only need 34 AP to make 34 dupes. Well, how do you get 34 AP super fast? There's a lot of characters that can do that. If you've been watching this channel enough, you know how to do some of this already. We're going to do it in a second here. Here's another 0 cost power, reabsorb. Drain up to 10 green AP. And then for every 2 AP spent, reabsorb 1 friendly dupe. This kind of goes against your whole trying to win the game by getting dupes out there on the board, but I digress. We're pumping up to level 5 to see the full power of it. Drain up to 14, every 2 AP spent, reabsorb 1 friendly dupe, destroying those tiles. For each tile absorbed, gain health, then gain a percentage of the AP that would be generated by destroying those dupes in their colors. It's a small amount of AP, to be quite fair, but whatever, it's still something. So I think this is the power you probably put at 3. I mean, to be fair, like all it is like destroying your dupes to get some healing and a little bit, like a touch of AP. It doesn't feel like a lot of extra bonus for this ability, right? Let's go back to my own best friend. 10 AP means up to 10 dupes you can create. How do you get 10 AP real quick? Real quick. Do you remember Vulture? I mean, that's one way to make a lot of AP. It's going to make you a ton of AP in green and blue, and of course a little bit in red. Obviously, Vulture's going to be using all the black he generates. I'm talking about 4-star Vulture, of course. That's one option. Another option that comes to mind is 5-star Hawkeye with Coulson. 4-star Coulson. You have 0 AP abilities here. These are zeros. They literally take no AP to cast. They just only do things when you drain AP, right? So if you boost some red, some yellow, some blue, just boost some AP, right? At the beginning of your match, just use a boost, go into the fight, cast My Own Best Friend, which is free. You don't need to spend any yellow to cast it, right? You're going to create dupes. Coulson's going to create a countdown tile for free because that's what Coulson does. And when that countdown tile goes off next turn, it's giving you an extra blue and red AP because that's what Hawkeye says. Coulson says a countdown expired. Oh, let me chime in and give you another 2 AP. Now you have more AP. Cast My Own Best Friend a couple more times if you can. I feel like you can have dupes out there pretty darn quick. The only thing that's maybe a problem with this build, if anything, is people that have quick destruction. Like Mighty Thor will definitely help destroying things randomly, but I don't know if her ability targets dupes. We don't know if dupes counts as one of those types of tiles that she targets until we get to play a little more, right? We'll figure that out. Also, characters like 4-star Doc Ock will probably remove all the specials. That's a good way to fight that. And you also have people that maybe if you have a good Doctor Strange, this is technically casting an ability. So he's going to hit you every time you cast. It might not be enough to kill him, but maybe it can be if you boost enough. Maybe you have a stronger Doctor Strange. Maybe you have strike tiles that'll boost Doctor Strange, or Okoye with Doctor Strange. If multiple man is casting this, multiple times, well, Doctor Strange might have an answer for that. Or maybe you put Doctor Strange and Clea on your team, so that way they get double punished. Ooh. Anyways, theory crafting here. Let's move on to the meat and potatoes, right? Story, Deadpool Daily. Let's start off with the Crash the Titans. We got a double crash this time. Whew. The first one going against Hammercap, as I like to call him, or the 4-star Captain America. No, not the Flapton. Actual Steve Rogers Captain America. The one with the hammer. Pretty sweet, honestly, if you ask, I don't know, anyone. 4-star Captain America came into MPQ a good while back now. It's been a while. He was kind of, after Endgame came out, this was a big, I wouldn't say a surprise, but a big fun add-on for the game because everyone was hyped up on that scene, right? Right. Come on. Everyone loved it. And he had a different build at the time. He had this thing where he would jump to the front if a certain condition was met and make 4 one-turn countdown tiles that each, did a little AP, did a little something or other. It doesn't matter. Point is, he made 4 one-turn countdowns, and then when you teamed this character with 5-star Hawkeye, which we just talked about a moment ago, you just generated a ton of blue and red AP off of getting hit one time. And that is a big problem. Now, all of a sudden, you just gave the enemy a ton of AP because you decided to smack someone once. And now they have all this blue and red AP that they can go ham on you with. It was really super annoying. So, with that being said, it didn't take too long. I'd say a little over, it took some time. Maybe, I don't know if it took a full year, but it took a while before they got nerfed. People got tired of that BS defensive combo, and he got nerfed into what he is today. What is he today? Nowadays, he is a charge tile specialist that still has a defensive chip on his shoulder, but this defensive chip says whenever the enemy matches a charge tile, he smacks back for some damage. His blue is a stun, still is, and his red is a countdown tile that makes more charge tiles for every tick it does. His yellow is just a passive that still jumps him to the front, but it makes a 3-turn countdown tile that it only triggers when a match 4 is made, and he jumps to the front, but then he takes 0 damage from that whole match. And that countdown tile promises a lot more charge tiles will be made on the screen if it's allowed to go off. Captain America wants charge tiles out there on the screen. He wants you to match them so he can smack you around for it. And he likes the charge tiles he makes because he makes them all usually in reds, blues, and yellows, colors that he likes. Is he a problem? No. You can get through him pretty easily. But he can definitely be a fun charge tile teammate if you plan your team right with him on it. But that being said, let's get into it. We're going against him with, what do you know, Endgame Thanos, the 4-star Thanos. 4-star Thanos isn't nearly as fun as 3-star or 5-star Thanos, and I say that only because, let's face it, this Thanos doesn't have Court Death. This Thanos comes in with Vicious Determination, which is a pale replacement for Court Death. It's 9 black, it's an active ability, does damage to the target, and then deals additional damage to all enemy heroes. So even if that target you did damage to is a hero, he's going to take that extra as well. That's all it does. It's just a nuke with an extra property to it. It's not that great in my opinion. His blue is probably one of his best reasons to have him. You have a hole at the start of the turn. If there are 3 or more strike, attacks, or protect tiles on the board, you remove 1, convert 3 basic tiles to green. In other words, he's a great way to get green tiles on the board, especially in the face of enemies that create lots of tiles, like Polaris, like Carnage, you get the point. If there's an enemy team that does that, 4-star Thanos is actually good about playing against that. And then finally, there's Mad Titan's Mercy, which is actually pretty strong. 12 green, though. It should be strong for that cost. Destroy 32 random tiles. Again, the math, that's 64 tiles to the board, so that's half the board. A random half of the board is destroyed. You deal damage for each special tile destroyed up to a max, unfortunately. And these destroyed tiles do not generate AP. I just want to note that it does that 2,365 damage you see on my screen here for each special tile destroyed up to a max of 14. That's like basically saying it's only dealing that extra damage for around 6-ish special tiles destroyed, 6 to 7 tops. And so I'm doing approximate math here in my head. Don't shoot me for it. But it's kind of a shame that he has 32 random tile destruction, but it's only going to give you that bonus damage for 6 to 7 tiles. Yikes. But whatever. It's still decent damage at the 4-star level. We'll give him that. That's, by the way, 4-star Thanos, one of the reasons people include him on the Beta Ray build and Polaris build is because of this Mad Titan's Mercy. You're pretty much determined to destroy a bunch of your projectiles that you have out there with Beta Ray Bill and Polaris, and destroying those gives you a bunch of blue and green AP per Beta Ray Bill's passive. So, and then Polaris is going to multiply and recreate them. This is a reason why Thanos is used a lot. Obviously it costs 12, so it's harder to get rolling, but once you get it rolling, it's pretty much impossible to stop. Anyways, I'm going to do one more quick check by going back in this menu over here. See, settings. Told you I would. Character effects on, because it is a one-on-one fight. Let's get in there. One-on-one fight, Captain America versus our 4-star endgame Thanos. Ready? Let's get it. So remember, when doing this fight, we don't want to match enemy charge tiles, or I should just say charge tiles, if we can help it. We do want our green and we do want our black, as our blue is a passive. And oh boy, I guess I'll give him those match 4s, because those aren't going to do anything to him. One of them, he's got a match 4 of team up at the bottom, which that's not going to help too much. And he's got a match 4 of yellows on the right. His yellow is a passive. He can't use that for much. I'd rather just take the black and make sure I can do something later on. Now there is a match 4 of green over there. I got to take those because, you know, we like green. I'll take this one because it gives me a black as well. There's his wind up. Now that countdown's going to make charge tiles every turn. At least we get to see one of his animations, though. I say that because he's not going to live. Take this green. And I guess we'll take another green, right? Let's take the black if we can, because now we can do both animations. Oh man, he pulled it off. Oh man. Now I could let him do his blue ability to stun us and get that image, you know, get that thing going. I don't see why not, honestly. What's he gonna do? If he stuns us, he does some damage, 2 turns, does extra damage for every charge tile on the board. No big deal, we could take that. Let's do it just for the love of imagery. Come on. Get it to us. There we go. There's a heavy hitter. Oh man, he did a bunch of damage to us. Now, if this was a real fight, I wouldn't let him do that, right? Because, yeah, we don't want to give the enemy those sort of moves. But this one's for fun. Come on. We're going to do this Vicious Determination. So, it's only going to do like 4,000 damage tops. But, there we go. And then we can hit him with this. Now, technically, I could have had him dead already if I would have taken that black and pumped up to level 5. But I didn't do that because, honestly, no one I know would pump that black up like that. But, you know, I guess I could have changed it for this one-on-one fight. We should still be fine. We're just not going to let him stun us for free anymore. Do I take the blue? I think I should take the blue. I don't want him to have a free stun on us again. I just need one more black. Well, I guess let's get rid of this red first. Because he was really close to casting that red again, and it's not like I really need that in my life. Oh, he's got his 6 blue. He needs 3 more blue. Guess we'll take this green. And we'll take this black into blue combo so he can get less blue. Yeah. And then we can kill him, right? There we go. There goes Cap. Next one, we're going against himself. Thanos versus Thanos, a mirror match. I don't know why they're having us do that. It's like, why would he go back to fight himself? I'm not really sure about the logic on this one. But we're just gonna, why is that boost there? We didn't use that, but okay. Let's just go in there and do this. I'm tempted to put, look, Thanos doesn't make tiles, right? He has this thing and this thing, which only does stuff if the enemy makes strikes, attacks, or protects, right? And this doesn't make any either, so I might as well pump up this black and bring down the blue. Because the blue's never going to trigger. The enemy doesn't, we know the enemy is us. There's no strikes, attacks, or protects being made, so let's get rid of that. Okay, let's get back into it. It's really ridiculous doing a one-on-one for this character, but okay. Maybe there's some hidden comic book lore here that I'm not aware of, where Thanos travels back and fights himself for some sort of dominance. I'd find that, well, not entirely hard to believe, but still. I just gave him a match 5. You're welcome, Thanos. I'll take the green, please. Thank you. I'll take that black into blue. And, do I take the black? I feel like I take the black. Yep. The black is sheer damage. The green is just a hope of board shake, really, if you think about it. Or at least with this build. Let's go purple into red into team up. I was hoping that black would fall better for us, but didn't. Okay, nice cascade there, computer. Give me that black. Well, let's do some damage, right? 5,000 at least, you know, or would be more if he was a hero, but he is totally not. We know this. We saw the movie. We know how that ends. We would like more black or green, please. That one? Sure. Oh, he hit me with it as well. Oh, shucks. Oh, darn. Green. Ooh, we got a nice match 5 here. I'd like to match it into blue, black, or green to get the full damage value here, but seems like the game doesn't want to play. I guess I could match it with team up. It's not a bad idea. At least it's some amount of damage that's decent. Get some more black here. Here we go. And now we can finish him off. There we go. And that's 2 legendary tokens for us. That is 4-star Thanos's Crashes of the Titan. And thank you very much for watching.